Hey there, Jake Dempsey, CEO and co-founder of Project Broadcast. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about multi-factor authentication. It's typically referred to as MFA. In Project Broadcast, you obviously, when you create your account, set up a username and password, but multi-factor authentication is an additional layer of security that you should enable on your Project Broadcast account. Unfortunately, many people use the same password on multiple websites, and MFA is a second layer of security so that when you log in, the system sends a text message or a phone call to a phone number that has been verified in order to get an additional code to be able to access the application. I'll hop over to Project Broadcast and we'll take a look at setting up MFA. Now, once you log into Project Broadcast, you may have a section that shows on the left to set up MFA, but let's say you've dismissed that. I'll show you where to get to it in the actual product itself. If you click on the bottom arrow down by your name and access the account area, there's a multi-factor authentication area. In order to enable multi-factor authentication, I have to add a multi-factor authentication method. I can decide to either select a call or a text kind of methodology for my MFA. I'm going to click plus to add a multi-factor authentication methodology, and I'm going to use text as a way to receive a code to validate my account. Now, when I provide that phone number, I should get an immediate text message from Project Broadcast with a verification code. I'll enter that verification code here to prove that I do have access to the phone number that I provided in order to receive text messages for MFA. Now, if I ever log into Project Broadcast, so I'm going to log out to show you what will happen. If I'm logged out of Project Broadcast and I try to access Project Broadcast, the first thing it's going to do is send a verification code to the number that I set up in my MFA. So I'll enter that code. So this adds that additional layer of security in that even if someone knows your username and password, they can't get into your Project Broadcast account because they wouldn't be able to get past the MFA, which would be sending a text message to your personal phone. Now, if you share a Project Broadcast account with multiple folks, like maybe you're a store and you've got two people that kind of monitor your Project Broadcast account, in the multi-factor authentication section, you can actually add multiple MFA methods. So if I had another phone number, I could add it here. It would send me a text. I would put in the code to make sure that I own the phone number. And then when someone logs in, you would get a selection of multi-factor authentication endpoints that you can select on where it should send the code. So you can have multiple here. Again, MFA is a good way for you to secure your Project Broadcast account from potentially, getting access just by your username and password. It's that additional layer of security that makes sure that your account always stays secure.